Hello everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome to TEW 2020 where we are in charge of Impact Wrestling. Now, today's video is a little bit different. I've already recorded this video, I've already recorded all the gameplay. However, I lost all the audio. Every single piece of audio I lost. So I'm having to do a re-voiceover of all the gameplay. I hope it's okay and I hope it goes well. I just wanted to pre-warn you if I speak in past tense, which I will do quite a bit, then that's why. It's because I've already recorded this and I do want to apologise. There has been a big break between the last few. Prelude took a while for me to get that out, and Bound for Glory, it took me a while to get that out as well. I do apologise. I should have done better. But I haven't, so this is my time to make it up to you. The semester at university is finished, and while I'm off, as well as doing some uni work, I want to get a lot of YouTube done, and I want this to go down really, really well, and that would be lovely. So I want to pump out videos more consistently than I would have done before, and I hope I hope that's okay. I know you guys will love me to record more and more videos, but yeah. So we're gonna get into things here, and yeah. So basically, I was thinking after a pay-per-view, it's nice to look at a few things. So the first thing is events, our best events, which was Bound for Glory. Bound for Glory was our best event by quite a bit. We've got we had a couple of things over 60 now, which is good. I was trying to look how our recent shows have been doing, and they've been hitting that high 50s, low 60s for about a month's worth of shows now. It's been hitting those low 60s, high 50s, which is really, really good. Obviously, Bound for Glory did go down really, really well. Our best matches, most of them include Miro. So you got Miro, Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, Miro, Doc Gallows, Miro in the Prelude match as well, Miro versus Carl Anderson. But our first one without Miro is Eddie Edwards and Rob Van Dam for the title, and our ones for non-title but big were EC3 and Sami Callihan, and also EC3 and Ace Austin as well. So EC3's been doing some good things recently, as well as Miro, but if you look at the chemistry, Miro and EC3 don't have any chemistry really, and EC3 and Eric Young don't, so probably he doesn't have chemistry with probably our two biggest stars at the moment, and two are pushing really, really hard, so that's not too good. And obviously our attendances, pay-per-view buy rates, these things haven't really gone up too much, so we're going to almost ignore those for now. We've decided to look at the merchandise. I haven't really looked at merchandise with you guys yet. I really do feel as though merchandise is something I should have looked at, because it kind of gives you an idea of who to push, who to not push. So obviously you're looking at like last month's stuff where Miro is at the top, but as you can see in this month there's a lot more people selling merch, which is good to see, but the same people in both months are at the top again. The only differences really is Ken Shamrock and Moose getting in there, Mick Foley's getting in there, Sami Callihan getting a few, but Doc Gallows' stock's gone down a little bit, which is not ideal, but bear in mind Carl Anderson's hasn't gone down, shows that we quite clearly booked Carl Anderson a little bit stronger than we have done Doc Gallows, which is completely true. We have booked Carl Anderson better, so it makes sense as to why the merchandise is that way. Heath being so high is a surprise, which is probably why I might give a little bit of a better push to people like Heath. Seeing Eddie Edwards up there again is a good sign. So the merchandise just gives you an idea of who to maybe push, who to maybe give TV time to, and what to do from then on. You know, it's quite an important thing to do. If we look at the finances, now the finances are an issue. We are going down massively every single month. we don't have a high amount of finances. We probably, at the rate we're going down, we probably have another 2-3 months left. So it's not ideal at all with the finances, which it's a massive worry. So I don't know what you guys want me to do. You can give me tips on how to save money, but you can also give me tips. Maybe I inject and cheat a little bit and inject some cash in, because I am enjoying it, and I feel as though if you were to be in charge right now, you would have a bit more cash than what we've got. So it's something I've got to look at. Now, this is where I look at the contracts, because a lot of them are on a pay-per appearance deal, and that's okay, but I feel as though it's time we look at the roster. And this is what I do. For a long time now, I will basically just be going through the roster. I might shorten it down when editing this, because I don't want to talk as long as I talked in that one. But basically, I went through every single member of the roster, and I decided to look at, you know, maybe people that I'm just not going to use, people who maybe serve their time. People like Aaron Stevens. Aaron Stevens I used for one purpose, and that was the Heath match to get the contract, and he got that, and he lost that match. That his purpose was served, and I might get him back in the future, but I thought, let's just get rid of him. Easy stuff there. Basically, I got rid of the majority of the people that were in that match. I think I did get rid of everyone from that match. But yeah, I scrolled down, and I've realised very slowly that a lot of the people on the roster I am using, or I have plans to use, except from people in the tag division, for example XXXL. Now, XXL are an issue, because I don't know how they're used, I don't know how to use them, and I feel as though that for me they're hard to book, because I do not want to push them too much, but I also need people in the tag division. That's the same reason as Renault Scum with Adam Thornstowe. I'm not a massive fan of them, and I did put those two teams together, and they performed reasonably okay. Obviously, Ace Romero doing better, so it very much seems like XXL are a better team to look at. And I have been seeing Impact recently. They've been getting a little bit of a heel push. I don't really watch Impact very often. I do try and keep up as best I can, but I try and keep my distance just so I don't mix my booking with theirs. But a lot of the people have either just got into the company, or I've either just got into the company, or I just have I have a lot of plans for. Angelico again served his purpose. He was in the Battle Royal. He did his thing. And there's a lot of people like that. Basically, anyone that I used at the Prelude that isn't in the Impact roster, I just got rid of. So you were looking at people like Angelico, Dragon Lee. I ended up, I think I got rid of Carlito, for example. A lot of people like that I just got rid of. Bandido, someone that I wasn't able to use at the Prelude. Similar to Phoenix, I wasn't able to use at the Prelude. So I just gonna keep them. I'm gonna use them ready for Ultimate X. Phoenix will be in the Ultimate X match, and I know that's a spoiler for maybe some qualifiers that might be coming up, but I just know that's gonna happen, and that's my plan. He was meant to win the Battle Royal instead of Dragon Lee and carry the Chris Bay match, but instead it was Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee did an incredible job, so I made the right decision there. But I'm looking at last chances, right? And Darga is on the list. I haven't really used Darga at all. Hernandez, someone I haven't used at all. I have got no interest in using Hernandez. Dargo, if he performs well, I just haven't really used Dargo. I thought I'd used him a couple of times and just gone, he's rubbish, I'm not going to use him. Apparently not. And obviously the Desi Hit squad, we have seen the matches they've put on, and I'm not impressed one iota with Desi Hit squad. I'm finding it very hard to book them because their manager's not a very good mouthpiece, their Muscle isn't a very good wrestler, their Rohit obviously has been getting a massive push in Impact as the X Division champion. So he is the only one I'm considering keeping. Obviously Mahabali Shera still has his match with Willie Mack. If he impresses in that, then obviously I will use him. But I just got no real interest in any of them, so they might be on their way out. And the worst part is with Desi Hit squad is with Renault Scum, I feel as though I can use them as a jobber tag team. I don't think I can use Desi Hit squad as a jobber tag team, and I don't really want to use them as a jobber tag team. So especially as I got a couple of more tag teams in, I feel as though I'm going to have a better time booking the tag division, so we'll have to just see what happens. But yeah, those are the ones on my hit list. I thought there was going to be a lot more on my hit list. Falabar's another one. I'm not really sure what to do with Falabar. Be interested to see what you guys think I should do with him. But yeah, I looked through the roster and I was expecting a lot more. I really was expecting a lot more people to be on my hit list, but there really wasn't. So yeah, at the moment it's all about these finances. What do I do? How do I do it with these finances? Like, what can I even do at this stage without cheating? If you don't mind me cheating, I'll just go ahead and do it and change the finances in the in-game editor. But obviously I've got a few people on my hit list for the Last Chance Saloon, and I've got a lot of plans, as you'll see in Impact and Explosion today. I have a lot of plans for a lot of people, and a lot of storylines are starting to mesh together, starting to twist, starting to turn, and some are new rivalries, some are old ones. You'll just have to see what I do with them all. So yeah, I'm not going to bore you as long as I would have done beforehand, but yeah, I think I've gone through all the people that are on my hit list, etc. So we'll just, if anything happens before the show, I'll show you. If not, I'll just show you Impact. Right, so we've got a couple of incidents here. So we've got Scott D'Amore and Alex Shelley, where Scott D'Amore has been passing psychology tips to Alex Shelley. That's good. And Scott D'Amore and P.T. Williams, where Scott D'Amore has been passing on microphone tips. All good stuff there. So yeah, I'm just going to book the show and we'll just see what happens. Right, so I've booked the show. It's all ready to go. There's a lot of segments here. So we're going to go through them. Some rivalries are carrying on, some rivalries are just starting, depending on what stage, but I'm pretty sure you'll be able to tell what stage all of these rivalries are at. So yeah, I think let's just get on with the show. Right, so we start off the show with a 63 rated segment where Mick Foley comes out. He wants to greet, obviously, all the fans. He wanted to do that at Bound for Glory, but he just wanted the show to carry on. He didn't want to take off some of the limelight, so he decided to start off the show here. He invites out the new champion Miro, to which Moose interrupts. Obviously Moose thinking that he is the main champion in Impact Wrestling. Now these two have like this weird standoff, but before anything comes to blows between the two of them, or like a war of words, Eric Young comes out, Ace Austin comes out, and Sami Callihan comes out. The only 3 people to have beaten Miro since he's been in Impact. All 3 wanted a viable title shot, but before anything can happen there, EC3 and Trey come out. Obviously EC3 confronted Moose at Bound for Glory, and Trey pinned Moose, is the only person to pin Moose, pinned Moose in the 3-on-3 between the North and Moose versus all of the Rascals. So he wants a title shot, Mick Foley creates a main event between Eric Young, Ace Austin and Sami Callihan for the #1 contendership for the Impact World Championship. He doesn't really do much with Moose, which kind of pisses off Moose. You know, you can see his disgust, but Mick Foley's like, I'll deal with the rest of you later. So we don't really know the fate of what's going to happen with Moose, EC3 and Trey, but we definitely know that Miro will be facing either Eric Young, Ace Austin or Sami Callihan. Everyone was amazing off script, except for Miro a little bit, but he'll just get better over time. But a 63 rating, that's quite impressive. Then we've got a 43 rated segment where Wentz defeated Ethan Page in about 30 minutes by pinfall. Wentz with a 35, Ethan Page with a 40. Obviously this is just carrying on the rivalry between the Rascals and the North. Obviously, yes, the Rascals beat the North. However, it wasn't the original match. The original match was Wentz and Dez versus the North, and obviously Trey inserted himself, and the North wasn't ready. So Dez would have wrestled this week, but he's not medically cleared. He is, but we know, we're just saying that so we can just split up the two singles matches. So Dez will be facing Josh Alexander next week in a match similar to this one. We're just carrying on this rivalry and just seeing where it goes, really. But yeah, 43 rating, that's really impressive by these guys. Then we've got a 56 rated segment where Heath and Rhino are backstage and they're talking about the disappointment of losing. They feel as though they should have won at Bound for Glory. You know, it was their time to win it. All the momentum was with them, and Heath's naturally devastated, and Rhino's they just don't look impressed with one another, and maybe they just haven't got it anymore. Then we've got a 50 rated segment where Kairi Hojo comes out and she says that she came to Impact for one thing, the title. Then Thunder Rosa comes out and she goes, well, if you want a shot at that title, you're gonna have to earn it. So we're gonna have a match between Kairi Hojo and Thunder Rosa right now, and obviously if Kairi wins, that kind of proves to Thunder Rosa and Deonna Purrazzo that she is ready to take that title. Yeah, what a match to in the women's division this is going to be between these two. Both of them perform brilliantly. Thunder Rosa becoming almost like the stalwart of the women's division right now. She is popping up everywhere, and that's because she is incredible and deserves every bit of TV time I am giving her. And the match ends up being a 47 rated segment where Kairi Hojo defeated Thunder Rosa in about 15 minutes with a spear of all things. Kairi Hojo with a 46, Thunder Rosa with a 40. Beautiful. Nice to see these two women don't have bad chemistry, because this could be something I go back to in the future. But yeah, Kairi Hojo kind of proving to Thunder Rosa that she's got it, and Thunder Rosa at the end of the match while Hojo's celebrating is just staring at Hojo, kind of nodding her head as a nod of approval, as if to go, okay, you proved yourself. She didn't want her name to be the thing that got her the title shot. Then we've got a 47 rated segment where English and Gotch want their match right now, and the Motor City Machine Guns come out and go, fine, you can have it. Obviously English and Gotch clearly believe that Motor City Machine Guns might be a little bit tired after Bound for Glory, so want their shot. They believe they should have had it at Bound for Glory instead of Heath and Rhino. You know, they are the ones that earned it. Heath and Rhino just got given it. So, you know, they want it right now. They don't want to wait for any pay-per-view or in a few weeks. They want it right now. So we're going to have a title shot, a tag team title match between the Motor City Machine Guns and Aiden English and Simon Gotch. These two don't really have a name yet, so please kind of give suggestions on what name to give these guys, because I'm not 100% sure, if I'm honest, what name to give them. Then we've got a 50 rated tag team title match, where the Motor City Machine Guns defeated English and Gotch in about 17 minutes, when Alex Shelley submitted Simon Gotch with the Broad City Stretch. This is defence number 3 now for the Motor City Machine Guns. Motor City Machine Guns just over that 50 mark, which is lovely to see. And then English and Gotch about that mid-30s. Pretty good to see between those two. Obviously, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin have a lot more popularity than the other two, and they are just better, slightly better in the ring. So yeah, but a 50 rated match, that is brilliant to see between those two. Then we got a 62 rated segment where Mick Foley tells Armel that he was great at Bound for Glory. That, look, I know you lost and whatever, but you've just lost to Sami Callihan, a man who might be about to earn that world title shot in the main event. Do not beat yourself up like this. You know, you are great. You did brilliantly. And kind of just puts an arm over the shoulder. Stephen Armel doesn't really say too much. It's more about his facial expressions. But Mick Foley just being there and just, you know, supporting Stephen Armel. And yeah, there's kind of progress in this idea of, will Armel become a wrestler or not. Then we've got a 50 rated segment where Rob Van Dam comes out and he wants to get back on track. So he sets a 10-minute challenge. And Warhorse comes out as the challenger. The crowd go mental for Warhorse. But RVD just looks at him and is like, this is gonna be easy, so it's a 10-minute time limit, and basically RVD is just asking if anyone can last the 10-minute timer. And Warhorse does. He lasts in a 47 rated segment. Warhorse draws with Rob Van Dam in precisely 10 minutes, as Rob Van Dam gets a 57 rating performance. Warhorse with a 37. He's virtually got no popularity, so hopefully that helps him. But what a showing for Warhorse. Obviously Rob Van Dam is dominating in this one, but Warhorse doesn't stay down. He kicks out over and over again as Rob Van Dam is trying to pull out every trick in the book, which is just amazing. Then we have got a 51 rated segment where Elijah Burke and Chris Bay come out and joke about Edwards. They're like, where's Edwards been? Like, Edwards surely wants that rematch for the Impact World title. Like, why wasn't he out there earlier trying to earn a title shot or a #1 contender shot? And then then the Kingdom's music hits. The Tron comes up with the Kingdom. Obviously, that is the name of the faction for Elijah Burke. And Shane Taylor, of all people, comes out with the limp body of Eddie Edwards on his shoulder, and he just dumps Edwards onto the stage as Edwards just rolls down it, and like, Edwards is just prone. He's not even moving. Obviously, medical team come out and people come out to help Edwards. But yeah, Shane Taylor destroying Edwards. This is just a beautiful showing for Shane Taylor. Shows the dominance that he is going to show on this brand. Like, he will be amazing. Obviously, Chris Bay with the X Division title as well, preparing and hints of the Ultimate X match. But this faction is just building over and over again. Every time we've seen them so far, they just keep building. And there's building blocks of a very, very dominant faction about to come. Chris Bay and Elijah Burke both perform brilliantly on the mic as well. Great stuff there. Shane Taylor, unfortunately, underwhelming, but just being in the ring with these guys will help Shane Taylor get that popularity he needs to rise up the card. Then we've got a 47 rated segment where Melissa Santos announces that Moose versus Trey is going to happen next week, and it will be for the title. Melissa Santos is talking, and she just invites Moose and Trey there, and Moose wasn't very good off script, but Trey was great off script. This match is going to be amazing. It probably main event the show as well. I don't know how this match is going to go between these two, but it should be great. These two are two great wrestlers, and Trey, although he's not got a lot of momentum on the game, he's got a lot in my heart. Then the main event of the evening is a 58 rated segment where Sami Callihan defeated Eric Young and Ace Austin when Sami Callihan pinned Ace Austin with the curb stomp. Eric Young obviously wasn't pinned in this one. Sami Callihan with a 56, Ace Austin 54, Eric Young 50, and Eric Young is annoyed. He's very, very angry. He just goes mental, absolutely mental. He goes insane, and he just can't control himself. He starts beating down Ace Austin, starts beating down Sami Callihan, and then you hear some very, very familiar music. That's right, Johnny Gargano is in the Impact Zone, and he's just, the crowd go absolutely berserk. Johnny Gargano has finally made the move to Impact Wrestling. As Eric Young is battering Sami Callihan and Ace Austin, Gargano comes out, he stares at Eric Young, points at Eric Young, and it gives the impression that he is going to go after Eric Young. His first feud in Impact is going to be with Eric Young. He's clearly not happy about the actions of Eric Young, where he's been beating people up and being ultra aggressive in the last few weeks, and Johnny Gargano will probably want to teach him a lesson. Yeah, what a show. What will the rating be for that? 59 rated. We are up there yet again in the high 50s mark. We are consistently putting on some great matches and great segments. Increase our popularity in 29 regions. Our worst segment was the 43 rating match between Wentz and Ethan Page, but just the storyline progression with that is more than enough to warrant a 43 rating. Like, I do not mind getting a 43 rated segment if it is in something that is just massively going to help a storyline, and you know, it's going to help those two wrestling on the show. But yeah, I'm really happy with that show. Obviously, the debut of Johnny Gargano, you can now see why I really wanted to make sure that this video got out, and you know, you saw the genuine reactions of everything. But yeah, I'm really excited, and he's going after Eric Young as well. What a show. I'm really excited to see where we can go with this, because quite simply, I'm really enjoying this. I'm enjoying booking all of these things. Obviously, you can see just the sheer amount of storylines going on at the moment, which is great stuff. And yeah, I think let's just get into Explosion, which is probably going to be as jam-packed as the actual show. But yeah, let's get into it. Right, so we got some backstage segments. We got Scott D'Amore and Chris Sabin. Scott D'Amore passing on some microphone tips, and Scott D'Amore and Alex Shelley microphone tips as well. So some great stuff there. That will help with the tag scene. I'm going to book the show, and yeah, we'll just show you what happens. Right, so I've booked the show, and yeah, I told you it was going to be jam-packed, and it definitely does look jam-packed. I'm excited to see where these storylines go. I've got a lot of weaving in and out yet again. You know how I book by now. There is about 20 people every single time I book a show, so yeah, let's just see what goes on in this one. Right, so we start off with a 28 rated segment where Willie Mack tells Gamma Singh to send Raj Singh out to the ring right now, as he knows he's not going to send Mahabali Shera. Mahabali Shera is just standing there, and Willie Mack just knows, I know you're not going to send him, so just send Raj Singh. I'm going to beat him, and then you have no choice but to send Mahabali Shera. This is one way to get basically to see the in-ring work of all of the Desi Hit Squad, but nothing went right in this segment. But hey ho, let's move on to the match. Right, where we got a 38 rated segment where Willie Mack defeated Raj Singh in about 12 minutes with the Chocolate Thunderbomb. Willie Mack with a 41, brilliant as always. Raj Singh with a 25. Don't know where that is with his popularity, but it's not great. But yeah, a better match than I thought it was going to be. So I can't complain about a 38 rated segment there. Then we've got a 40 rated segment where Jake Crist boasts about removing the old Tommy Dreamer and wants all the has-beens of Impact Wrestling to be gone. Now this is setting up a possible feud with Ken Shamrock, which I just know is going to be brutal. I just thought, what a better feud to have after defeating Tommy Dreamer than to go into a brutal match with Ken Shamrock. And I feel like this attitude to just get rid of all the has-beens in Impact, all the people that he believes have been taking the spotlight from him all these years, is just a really good way to have a rivalry and to have quite a brutal one as well. And to make it a little bit personal. And a 40 rated by Jake Crist is amazing. That's very, very unlike Jake Crist. So that's great to see. Then we've got a 28 rated segment where Melissa Santos announces that Melina versus Tenille Dashwood will be next week. Obviously we don't know whether this will be on Explosion or Impact, but we will get a match between Melina and Dashwood. It will be Melina's first singles match since her return as well. Then we've got a 40 rated segment between Su Yung and Kylie Ray, where Su Yung follows Kylie Ray and she causes the lights to flicker. Our persistence with the storyline is working. We are slowly getting there with this storyline and making it work, because I do believe it will work, especially in ring, so I want to get the build up right before we do the blow off. Then we've got a 42 rated segment where TJP defeated Madman Fulton in 15 minutes with a running single leg high knee strike. Long finisher name, hey ho. TJP with a 43, Madman Fulton with a 40. That's great to see by Madman Fulton. This is why, for me, Fallah Bahh, this is what I wanted from Fallah Bahh, but Madman Fulton is just 10 times better. He can last longer, he can wrestle better. Like, why would I want to push Fallah Bahh when I can push Madman Fulton to the moon instead, and is just someone who can fill that role and is 10 times better at that role as well. So yeah, just progressing the TJP Ace Austin storyline. Then we got another 42 rated segment where Jordynne Grace confronts Angelina Love after her interference at the Prelude, and she's also being confronted by Madison Rayne, and Love just leaves them both confused. They are both like bickering at each other, at Angelina Love. Angelina Love is doing nothing, she's just standing there, and then she just leaves, and Jordynne Grace and Madison Rayne just look at each other and they clearly realise that neither of them have anything to do with Angelina Love being there. This is off Angelina Love's own back. So what is she doing there? Neither of them know, but both want to know why she's there. Then we've got a 48 rated segment, wow, where Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary find Thunder Rosa backstage, and Rosa says, look, it's not personal what happened last week, you know. Yes, I beat you down, but I was teaming with Havoc. Havoc decided to beat you down. James Mitchell was there. I just decided to do it. Taya Valkyrie doesn't like excuses, so demands a match right now between her and Thunder Rosa to settle some kind of score. Havoc wasn't mentioned too much here. The focus is really primarily on Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary's anger at Thunder Rosa, especially as she's, you know, respected by the wrestling world and loved by the wrestling fans as well. So they just don't understand why she did that to Valkyrie and Rosemary. A 40 rated match between them both. That's lovely to see. Taya Valkyrie defeated Thunder Rosa in about 60 minutes with the Northern Lights suplex. Taya Valkyrie 38, Thunder Rosa 37. And they just had no chemistry. This is not a feud I can do in the future. Luckily, Thunder Rosa is only a stand-in for this feud. But yeah, that's disappointing to see. But to get a 40 rated segment, right? That's impressive. 40 rated segment and literally nothing. No chemistry. And it gives us an overall of 41. Again, pretty good across the board. The Willie Mack stuff is dragging it down just a touch, but there's not really much we can do there with that. And yeah, it's just, I want to do this feud with Willie Mack. I'll kind of my reasoning for it is Willie Mack had nothing to do. Willie Mack got inserted with the Motor City Machine Gun stuff. It keeps Desi Hit Squad away from Motor City Machine Guns and the tag scene, and it gives them something to do. It also gives Willie Mack something to do away from the X Division, which he might be returning to eventually. I just don't know when. And yeah, so when he returns to that, obviously he'll be all ready and prepared and, you know, to do stuff. So I feel as though it's the right decision to have them feud, but it's unfortunately just going to drag down Explosion for a bit. But the women are smashing it out the park, especially this week. This week the stars have been the women's division. I feel like we bulked it out. I feel like the addition of Thunder Rosa was essential. We see what Melina can do next week. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with Melina and how good she will be in the ring, but Thunder Rosa is obviously a standout. So we got, and Kairi Hojo as well. Jeez, forgot about Kairi Hojo. So we got Kairi Hojo, Deonna Purrazzo, Thunder Rosa, Taya Valkyrie, Havoc's doing decently as well. Rosemary is doing great. I think she's the hottest star in Impact at the moment, just based off what creative is telling me about her. So the women are just absolute stars. Sami Callihan going to face Miro. We've got Trey versus Moose. We're eventually going to possibly have the winner of that face EC3. Maybe even if Trey wins, it might even turn into a triple threat between those three. Then you've got the tag division. I don't obviously you're not really sure what's going to happen there. It kind of feels like all the feuds have ended in the tag division, except from obviously the North and the Rascals. But the Good Brothers confronted the Motor City Machine Guns at Bound for Glory, so maybe they are going for the titles next. And there's just so much. You've got the Ultimate X match as well, which obviously I spoiled earlier. Phoenix will be in that. Obviously he will have to qualify, but that, you know, this is some great stuff, and I'm excited. I really am excited to see what these guys can do, and I feel as though it's going to be great. And thank you guys for sticking around with this video. Obviously I know the commentary's been a little bit different than usual, but I still hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the debut of Johnny Gargano. I really do hope that kind of made up for things a little bit. Hopefully I don't muck up any recordings here on out, and it will be back to normal from next episode. But this was such a pivotal episode, I could not do it for you. So I hope I've done it justice. Hit that like button if you like this video, it really does help me. Comment anything down below. I know I've asked a lot of questions this week, so please comment down below anything, and I shall see you guys in the next video. See ya!